Exercise 1, solution. Solve for r, so get r squared by dividing both sides by pi, and then take the square root. Solve for c, divide by m, and then take the square root. Solve for r, now you have r squared and r, so that's a quadratic. And you want to get a 0 here, so subtract s from both sides. A is 2 pi, b is 2 pi h, and c is negative s. Plug into the quadratic formula, and you are supposed to get r, which is equal to negative pi h plus or minus the square root of pi squared h squared plus 2 pi s over 2 pi. Okay? 4. You wanted to solve for what? For y. Okay. This is like a constant which you subtract from both sides. You take the square root of both sides. You have a plus or minus here, and you add k. And you're done. You wanted to solve for x, divide by bc, and take the square root. Simple, isn't it? You are given this, and you wanted to solve for e. Multiply by e squared, divide by a, take the square root. Okay. Solve for d. Square both sides to get rid of the square root. Multiply by the denominator, divide by a squared. You wanted to get d. So multiply both sides by c squared, c squared, c squared, c squared. You are right here after reducing. You want to isolate d by adding d to both sides and subtracting this term from both sides. And then finally, you're going to take the square root. So d is really plus or minus what you have on the right here. Okay. You could write it this way, but I suppose that is probably a better way. No, maybe not. C over a, and then the square root of a squared minus b squared. Plus or minus, again, I dropped the negative for practical reasons. D is probably not a negative number, but I suppose I should have kept plus or minus. In problem 8, we wanted to solve for y. Subtract this quote-unquote constant from both sides, and then take the square root. We have t squared squared. You could replace t squared by x, for instance. You would have an x squared here and an x here. So quadratic formula, you got a, which is small a squared, times x squared, plus b, which is small b really, times x, plus c, which is really negative c squared. Plug into the quadratic formula. We're right here. This is x, which is t squared. So again, take the square root of all of this, and you got a square root of a square root.